Good evening everyone and welcome to another tournament stream. Today we're streaming the 4th day of the final stages for the CIS server and it's gonna be amazing. So let's go straight away to my garage. Room invite should be up in not too long. And let's look here because this is what we're gonna see. We're going to start with G Game versus Quantic, and after that the loser of that one versus 7 Star. So it's gonna be amazing gameplay. Straight away, to be honest, because I'm really looking forward to this. I haven't seen Quantic play yet, but of course GK and 7 Star are well-renowned names and there's a good reason for that. So yeah, gonna be epic, gonna be great fun. There's the room invite. As you can see, I'm not the only one here. We have Methody, we have Pyroblast and GSR. Not sure what his name is on YouTube, but still lots of famous names there as well. We're starting off on Vineyards. The games today are a best of 7. That means the first team that reaches 4 victories is going to straight to the grand finals in this case, and the loser is going to go to the lower bracket finals. But I have to point out, there's first things first, there's a 5-minute delay on the stream, so anything that you say that I respond to, you hear my reaction to like 5 minutes later, which is generally useless, which is why I don't interact all that much with the chat. And then you have the fact that the games could technically, if they last the whole 7 games and the whole 7 minutes, last until after the EU game starts. So with the second matchup, if all else fails, I will have to cut this stream short in order to be able to stream the EU games on time. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it won't come to that, because the CIS games are generally very aggressive and fast and high paced. So I'm kind of hoping for that this evening. And then it should all go alright. Later on I will be streaming the EU games as well, as said, and I will be joined there by Fujit. That's going to be great fun as well, because it's just so lovely to commentate with him. And not just that, we will be commentating the grand finals for the EU server tomorrow on Wargaming's official channel together. We won't be alone there, of course. We will have hosts and we will have analytics. But I'm just really glad to be able to do that with Fujit, because it's just always so relaxed to stream with him. But for now, let's focus on the CIS server. Hopefully we will have some very intense games. This matchup can last as long as they want. It's more the second game matchup this evening that has to go a bit faster. So basically now we're waiting for the time to run down and for everyone to be ready. G game is pretty much ready with 2 E5s, 3 Kranwagens, a VK90 and a Vickers, assuming that they stay with this lineup, that is. And Quantic is still deciding on their tanks. Overall, I've really enjoyed streaming the CIS server. I'm actually quite bummed that I won't be able to stream the grand finals for them tomorrow. But it is what it is, at least I got a taste of it. And yeah, like I said, it's been great fun. They choose different lineups, play very differently than any of the other servers, and that makes it very funny to watch. No, not funny. Funny isn't the right word. Interesting in the good sense, not in the British sense, because it makes them unpredictable, for me at least. But like for EU, the games are more slow paced. They're more strategic in a way, and not like CIS doesn't play strategic. It's just differently. They play a lot more aggressively. But yeah. We're gonna have fun with it. 1.5 minutes left to go before we actually go into the game. Quantic is now ready with 4 Kranwagens, a Batchat, an Icefall and a Mouse. But this is exactly what I mean. Like, on the EU server you don't see many super heavies being used on this map because you can get around so much. It's just, wow. But that's exactly what I mean. And it's out of the box thinking. When you have like EU on your mind, you can't stream CIS server with RU tactics on your mind. So I try to go in with a blank mind, and every time I find myself like, wait, what? Kind of going like that, and oops, that's not what I meant to do. And that's just, yeah, it's interesting and I like it. Anyhow, 50 seconds left to go before we go into the first match of this best of 7. We get more and more games as we go along. Tomorrow is a best of 9, so that can either end quite quickly or last very long. But gonna be great fun regardless. 30 seconds. Let's see. Got my camera commands ready as well. Thing is that I'm still, this is like, I've been doing this for a few days now, but I still need to get used to all the camera commands, and I don't really use all of them. But here we go, countdown clock has begun, and we're ready for the first game of the first matchup today. Boop boop. Here we go. Yeah, like someone's using a Christmas avatar. Yes, Martin, I will show replays today in between the matchups. I have no idea what they're saying in the chat, by the way, because I don't speak Russian. And let's go up, up and away. G game. Focusing on the C side mostly here, actually. Whereas we see Quantic going a bit more towards both the middle and the base closest to them. Batchat losing HP as he crosses over. Vic is getting out of there, and none of them are capping the bases. Base B is being capped. Base A is going to get capped as well. Here Wraith already spotted though, but he's unlikely to be able to get decapped from there. And this gives Quantic a little bit of an advantage here. In point wise, that is. HP wise they also have it, but they've been bled just a little bit. IS4 is still in the base there. Vickers not going into the ruins. Base C is so far uncontested, but definitely watched over. Kranenwagen is in the middle, hoping for a crossover where the Rimosh is that he would go to base C. Kirusha going towards the back, but keeps circling back around. And not much is happening, especially for CIS games. This is quite stalemate. Last time we saw a stalemate game that was also on, well, not stalemate, but stalemate for CIS server. That was also happening on Vineyards. Batchat now behind near C. Not sure he's actually going to go for it though. Eternity is in the ruins over at the back there. Shots happening where Kirusha is at, but he doesn't get hit. But it's enough to give him pulse and not be there. Thing is, it will be up to G game to act. I'm just circling around there, there's nothing really much to show. It will be up to G game to actually make a move and do something somewhere. Kirusha still driving around. Shots being taken, but no real action being taken yet. Annexation taking a bit of a hit, but it's the points that they need and not just the HP. HP wise is like very, very close together. Skilloid and Yevgen Lux and Rimosh all crossing at the back. Unspotted. Rimosh heading towards base C. No, he's heading towards the back and he might find a Batchat there. Rimosh losing HP here. The mouse immediately responding. But he's not alone. They have been spotted though. And that makes it a little bit difficult. And at the same time, we have Quantic moving, but not necessarily making a push. They seem hesitant. Milk losing HP as he crosses over. Golfing after annexation. The mouse getting rushed, but milk might be gone sooner than annexation will be. Not in a very good position over there. And there he goes. And we have 3 tanks on 1 mouse here. 865 points for Quantic. He can still go every which way, but they will have to make every shot count. And they're bleeding quite a bit of HP. The mouse is not looking too healthy, but they will have to take out more tanks than that. Base B is being contested, is being capped even. And there goes the mouse. And it's closer again, but the Rimosh is almost gone. Weekly twist. Merc is gone. There goes the Rimosh. There goes weekly twist. 930 points for G game now. Tank wise they have the advantage. Point wise they have the advantage. It will be about surviving here. The VK90 is holding, but they're not getting any points as long as base C is not capped. And that's a very important thing, and they basically Quantic can't do anything about it. We have Eternity being taken out, and that basically seals the fate, and G-Game has the first game. But this was a very, very slow game for CIS service, that is. But that's interesting though. It looked to be going in Quantic's favor for quite a bit there. But G-Game actually pulled it back, and I have a feeling that it's sort of like, not that they've thrown it, not in any way, but like Quantic made the opening for that to happen. Not pushing aggressively enough, not using the fact that there were 3 tanks working on the mouse. Those Kranwagens should have pushed. They were fully loaded and they held them back, and I think that's in this case what cost them the game. 1 minute and 13 seconds left before we go into the second game on Vineyards. And let's see what they take now. Quantic now ready with a Batchat, 2 Kranwagens, 2 IS-4s and 2 E5s, so pretty general lineup. And on the other side we see 2 E5s, 3 Kranwagens, a VK90 and a Vickers. Lineup hasn't changed on Quantic's side, just the players that play those tanks. And let's see. 30 seconds left to go before we go into the second game of this best of 7. No pressure yet, it's only the team that reaches 4 victories first that is through to the grand final straight away. And of course the other team isn't completely knocked out just yet, they are going through to the lower bracket. 15 seconds left to go. And let's see then. It's kind of weird when you don't... I mean, I've seen G-Game play, of course, and 7 stars, well, and Mercy before and all. But when you don't really know the teams, it kind of like makes it feel far away from your bet show kind of thing. Which, yeah, it kind of is, but still. Let's see. Here we go. And Vickers going straight towards base B. Batchat heading for A. Gonna arrive at similar moments. Split second faster for Quantic. And the rest of G-Game is hovering around the base B area, going a little bit into the ruins. In an unpronounceable nickname, Waitotu, I'm just gonna call him, is spotting the Kranwagens as they peek up. And we see shots happening in bushes and all, but no damage having been done yet. Base C is now being taken, weekly twist, making use of the fact that all of G-Game is on the other side. Yevkan Lox and Milk are ready to try and take base A. Yevkan Lox is spotted though, and he takes a little bit of a hit, but not much. But we have Mark at the back there. And now base C has been kept, so Quantic has a definite advantage here. Dark time. Peeking up. Yevkan looks moving in. Not sure what he's doing because he's quite out in the open like that. Taking a 5 HE damage from Quantic Eternity there. And that shot not doing any damage. They say hold base B, but that's not happening. There's nothing happening there. But Dark Time does take some damage here. Trying to get base A. Thing is, they kind of have to move somewhere. The E5 is holding, Skeloid is arriving. But he's pretty well dug in, White Dot 2. Yevkan looks taking damage. Here Wraith pushing in very aggressively. And we have Quantic immediately responding. Here Wraith losing a lot of HP here, almost gone. Annexation takes quite a bit of hit, but here Wraith is the first one gone. Base C has been stolen. Annexation not looking too healthy, but Yevkan looks is almost gone as well. And he has to be very, very careful. Heat gets taken out. Base A is being stolen. Dark Time now clippable for the Bat Chat, which is exactly what he's using. 840 points for Quantic. They lose Annexation, but there goes Dark Time as well. Bat Chat taking his last shot. A still being there. Wisdom is being taken down. Waitoto is now preferred target, but so is Kirusha. And it will be like, it's all about the tanks here. They have the advantage in bases, but not in points. Still not in points. And Quantic Eternity here, taking that bounce. Tanks are being destroyed left and right. 890 points for Quantic here. Eternity gets taken out, but so does Milk. It is 3 versus 2, and now with 2 bases, it will be very tricky, especially with Rimosh at that low HP. Bat Chat. Oof, Rimosh is taken out, and with that, Quantic has the second game. It was a pretty chaotic game, not gonna lie, and I think that Wraith pushing in like that so aggressively, with the rest of the team not pushing with him, and him being taken out like that, he was basically the armor that had to hold. And that in this case, it didn't work out. I think his push was too aggressive. It didn't work. So now we're going to go to Yukon instead. Second map in this best of 7. Again, no real pressure. No one is at 3 points. There haven't even been 3 matches yet, but still. G game, almost ready. Taking 3 mice, 3 crown wagons, and a VK90. That is a very heavy lineup. Then can go very well or very, very badly. Whereas we see Quantic taking 2 mice, 2 crown wagons, a Vickers, and 2 E5s. A little under 1 minute to go before we go into the third match. And then we'll see. Because this is the thing though. This is what I mean with RU tactics being out of the box when you compare them to EU and EU and NA and Asia. It's just so different. Also, as far as I know, there's no reward for watching any of the streams this season. Basically, the system has proven to not exactly be fixed. So they kind of need to fix it first before they give rewards for streams on the portal again. Would actually like it though, to be honest. Here we go, countdown clock has begun, and we go into a very weird lineup with G-Game. But this again, weird for EU standards. I keep pointing that out, but there's just such a big difference between the servers. And here we go. Very curious to see how those 3 mice and the VK perform. Because that's a lot of heavy tanks, super heavies to take, and that can be a very big weakness. Let's see. Here we go. I'm not sure if they point attention to A or if they're actually going to go A. The mice heading towards base B, the Kranwagens indeed heading towards base A. And we see Quantic going into pretty much every direction, but focusing a bit more spread out. Base C is being taken, that will give them an advantage, because only now base B is being capped. We have the Vickers that basically has a free base D to cap. No one is there. Eternity has to be a little bit careful. And we have the Kranwagens pushing around. Thing is, this will give Quantic quite a bit of a point advantage, because they will have the bases for quite a bit before Dark Time will actually arrive at base A to cap it. If that's indeed the goal, that is. And that's always a dangerous thing to do, because he's basically giving away the game advantage here. Dark Time now capping that base. But there's only like a 60 point difference between the two teams. And that's quite a bit. So now I'm kind of curious what they will do, because in this case Quantic only needs to hold. It will be up to G-Game to actually make a move. And they've got a lot of very slow tanks to get around places. And you can't really push those mice from places. It would just take too much time for them to get there. Skeloid gets spotted here. Mark not shooting them, but oh, actually he does shoot at them, and that gets him spotted. And we have a mouse holding there. Milk losing a little bit of HP. G-Game not quite pushing, but sort of pushing. Dark Time also pushing. And G-Game is on the assault. On a very slow going, very heavy assault. Quantic Eternity actually blocking a shot from his teammate. Kirusha taking some damage here. Taking quite a bit of damage. But Weekly gets taken out. Kirusha's almost gone as well though. And they have to be careful. They're going after Eternity next. Here Wraith focusing on the Kranwagen. Kirusha has been taken out. There goes Eternity. They have stone in base C. It can still go every which way, to be honest, but it's such a heavy lineup, it's so tricky. But with 3 bases, they definitely have an advantage. And the super heavies are sticking together. Big hit in annexation there. And Milk is just going straight. Oof, he does take some hits there. Milk losing some more HP. Annexation the preferred target here. But Milk gets taken out first. 865 points. There goes annexation. G-Game has this match, but for all intents and purposes, I'm very surprised that they do. With such a slow and heavy lineup. It's like Quantic didn't really react to it, and with that kill they actually have the game. The Vickers is still alive and still dueling. But it's this is what I mean. The games for RU in my EU heart and with my EU view, they're a bit weird. They're really good, don't get me wrong. I mean, that this worked out is brilliant, but I'm very surprised that it did work out. Because I'm not sure what Quantic was doing here. So yeah, again, no real pressure just yet. It is 2-1. We need to get to a 4 something or a something 4 before we have a final score for this matchup. But it is... You know, you see what I mean though, right? With the game just now, with so many mice and the VK and a bunch of Kranwagens. I'm just surprised that they got away with it. And yes, there's a lot of HP and a lot of armor to go through, but the way that they got, like, picked out and destroyed one by one, it's like Quantic's team wasn't holding together. "35 seconds left to go before we go into the 4th matchup of this best of 7. And then we'll see what happens. G Game now sporting 2 mice, 3 Kranwagens, an E5 and a T22 medium. Versus 2 Kranwagens, a Vickers, 1 mouse, a 215B and 2 E5s. More generic lineup, but still quite heavy. Especially on G Game side with 2 mice there. And let's see. I love to have Fujit here right now. See what he thinks about the mice. And let's see. I do quite like this map, to be honest. It's a fun map. And I like maps with 4 base because they're generally bigger. And that just makes them more nicer to play on and to stream on, really. Meanwhile, we see G Game pushing on the C and D side right now. Quantic going for B and D. Mark getting spotted, but escaping with all of HP intact so far. And he does, for sure. Which makes him a little bit of a lucky little Vickers. Both teams have a base now. A little bit of an advantage for Quantic. They've given up on the base D side, rotating around. Potentially to go to base A. Which is where they seem to be headed. And we see Quantic now moving in to get base D, which will give them a bigger point advantage because they will cap that base before G Game can cap base A. Let's see. And now both teams are pretty much like holding. Again, there's not much action happening, but we see the mice being a bit forwards there. Dark Time pushing up a little bit. And we have Quantic holding in a line, but pretty much in a position that will allow them to help each other out relatively quickly. Especially thanks with the super speed boosts. We have Dark Time making a bit of a push here. They're going after Weekly Twist. Cheeky shot by Yevkenlox over there. Capral losing a little bit of HP. Dark Time now moving in to get that base. The FE is there. And Weekly Twist is losing quite a bit of HP. But as long as they're in there, they will not get points from base B. Base D is also being stolen. Skilloid is in there. Weekly Twist not looking too healthy. Getting crossfired. And there he goes. And now G-Game is pushing in. But they are not very careful here. At the same time, we have Skilloid facing off versus the Vickers. The mice are being set upon from multiple sides. And this could go every which way on this battle end, that is. But we have the rest of G-Game driving around. Annexation is almost gone. We have Waitotu focusing on Kirusha. Kirusha is basically gonna be left for that. But it's 6 versus 3. And we are near 900 points for G-Game. All 3 Quantic tanks are here. Dark Horse is the preferred target. Dark Time is also the preferred target. And he gets taken out. But still, we are 960 points now. And it's fairly certain to say that G-Game has this game. Capral is being focused on, but Quantic Eternity gets taken out first. And that means that G-Game has this game as well. Overall, this was a more aggressive game, still built up very slowly. I mean, of course, it's hard to rush with a mouse, but still very well played by G-Game. Especially the sort of wraparound that they did worked out very well here. And now there is a potential match point, and that potential match point is for G-Game. If they win the next match, which is going to take place on Alpenstadt, then they have this matchup and are through to the grand finals. And that would mean that Quantic is through to the lower bracket. It's kind of like Quantic seems to be too divided and reacting too slow to what's happening to the rest of their team. And G-Game makes full use of that by taking them out bit by bit. So now with 1 minute left to go, we see G-Game ready in 1 mouse. Let's see, no mouse, 3 Kranwagens, 2 E5s, a Vickers and an IS-4. And they're going to go up against 2 Kranwagens, 4 E5s and a VK90. "35 seconds left to go." That's a lot of E5s to take, but the E5 I think is like sort of like the man of the match, you could say, in this season. With the special provisions and consumables that they have, they can work wonders. At the same time, they're all-rounders, so that's always been a good thing for tournaments like this. They have a bit of armor, and with the speed boost they can get around pretty fast. I do like that it's getting more attention. At the same time, I really wish they would remove the fantasy consumables. But here we go into the 5th match of this best of 7. And potentially match point for G-Game. Let's see. At the same time, I'm looking at the clock to see to take into account how much time the matches are taking. Because they are relatively slow matches for, well, again, for CIS server days. So we have Quantic splitting up, going a bit towards every side, whereas G-Game is focusing on base A and B entirely. And they're definitely going to meet each other. The question is, where will who meet whom the quickest? G-Game content to hold. Base C is being taken. Here Wraith and Dark Horse have been spotted. Skilloid over there is waiting for a shot. And with the base, this again means that Quantic has a point advantage. And that's kind of the thing though, because normally that's like a advantage, but so far G-Game has mostly managed to turn that around. Skilloid repositioning himself. And we see some shots going on. Annexation having lost a little bit of HP, but not much. And Yevkan Lux is taking up position to either spot or troll annexation. Let's see, Milk is also pushing forwards. Teams are getting closer. Annexation has been spotted, takes a hit there. So does he Wraith as he crosses over. Milk takes a hit. Annexation taking more damage, as does Wisdom here. Relative aggressive gameplay by G-Game again here. But with the way that they're positioning themselves, with the rocks between them, that can work out really well. They just have to be careful, because in this case your Wraith is going to get clipped so hard. Annexation is still alive. And G-Game might have overextended here. Her Wraith does not have much HP left. Wisdom is the first one gone, immediately followed by her Wraith here. Annexation also almost gone, but Milk, again, 2 tanks disappearing at the same time. We have the Vicars going over to get back to the E5s. We see getting shot at. So does Dark Time. They are trying to support each other every which way. And we have the Kranwagen almost reloaded now. Dark Time. Ooh, that not taking him out is actually... And again, tanks disappearing at the same time. Dark Horse here. Remosh. Also not looking too healthy. Remosh gets taken out. And there goes Dark Horse. And again, tanks disappearing at the same time. Base B is being stolen though. Quantic has the point advantage and the base advantage. It is 3 versus 3. The Vic is arriving to make it hard on the E5. They do focus him here. And that not panning could be very expensive. He is almost gone though. And he is taken out. And now Kirusha getting focused by the Kranwagen. Skiloid has been taken out. It is 2 versus 2. It is 1 versus 2. And the thing is, with the base, Mark just has to stay safe. He even gets shot in from where he is. But all he has to do is stay safe. This is Quantic Games. G-Game did overextend here. And there's nothing they can do about it. All Mark has to do is stay safe, and he's definitely going to do that. Yevkan Lox is never going to arrive in time. Very cleverly played by Quantic here. And it was a good rush, don't get me wrong. But it was overextended and with too few of the team actually there. And here we hit 5k at 1k points. And Mark is safely elsewhere. But look at the damage though. Yevkan Lux doing 6.6k damage. Oof. But yeah, this is very nicely played by Quantic. Very nicely held by Quantic, I should say. And now we're going to the 6th match of this best of 7. Again, potential match point for G-Game. Whereas Quantic has to win 2 more in a row in order to take it home. And I'm kind of curious how they're going to play it now. Because the push in itself was pretty good. Because they were actually using the rocks as cover to keep from being focused. But they were just, I mean, they were a bit too spread out. And that allowed Quantic to literally take control back. 1 minute left to go. MC G-Game now ready in a mouse. 3 Kranwagens, a Vickers and E5 in the T22 medium. Versus 1 mouse, 2 Kranwagens, 2 Ice4s and 2 E5s. Potential changes happening? No, they're taking the same tanks. 40 seconds left to go. At this time, I just want to see the game, really. I mean, I wonder if Quantic can, if they can do this again. Because in this case, it wasn't so much Quantic taking the action. It was Quantic responding to G-Game's action. And that works out for them. So let's see. 10 seconds left to go. We enter the countdown clock. And here we go. And let's see. Also noticing how all the tanks have different camos, and it actually makes them easier to differentiate between who is who. I always wonder this, because technically speaking, I would have everyone drive this, if you have the same tank, use the same camo, because it makes it less easy for the enemy to call you out. But then of course you have the names and also, yeah. G game focusing on the base A side, Skeloid being quite aggressive here. Going for an early cap, but we have Waitotu there, who doesn't actually pen, but he does scare him out of the base. Quantic, quite spread out there. Dark Wolf has actually been spotted. Kirusha going back here. And base A is being left alone. None of the bases are being kept though at this stage. Dark Time losing a little bit of HP. And a little bit more. Kirusha and Skeloid crossing over. Skeloid going to cap on the other side of base A. And he might get away with that one. Capral and Milk respond, well, basically not responding, but pushing. Getting spotted. And potentially going after the E5, who is hastily pulling back. Shots happening on both sides. Let's see. G game pushing in the middle as well. As is Quantic. Base A has been capped, which has given G game the advantage. And base C is still uncontested. Side scraping feast happening here. Eternity going to cap, but getting decapped and now putting out of the base. And losing some more HP as he goes. Milk going in, losing quite a bit of HP. That was a big risk to take, honestly. Capral getting support from behind by the T-22, who is also getting shot at. Mark taking a hit there. Overall though, this is pretty clever gameplay. Dark Time is losing a bit too much HP being there. And HP wise it is relatively close, but Dark Time has lost a lot. So there has to be more careful. Base B not necessarily contested, the Vic is just driving on by. Possibly going to base C to steal it. And we have Capral being quite forward. Rimush is taking damage now. And we have Annexation going after the Vickers to avoid base C being stolen. But one Vickers versus one IS-4 could be very tricky for the IS-4. And I think he just got told not to leave his position too much. And right now they're just basically bleeding each other. Annexation pretty much out of the battle to go to base C, where the Vicar is no longer at. And look at the HP just steadily going down on every side. Yevkan looks holding very nicely there. And we see Dark Horse over here taking more damage. Base B now being taken. Yevkan looks being rushed. And Yevkan looks is pulling back a little bit at least. And Yevkan looks is being focused on, but he's not alone. Of course he has backup. The Vickers is there as well. Yevkan looks might not survive, but neither does Mark and Weekly Twist have been killed at pretty much the same time, really. Quantic Eternity not looking too healthy. Dark Time not looking too healthy either. Lots of low HP targets. Capral is almost gone. But it's Dark Horse that gets taken out first. As oof, there goes Capral. But they're at 980 points. And even though Dark Time may not win, may not survive, he actually does, and Wisdom gets taken out, and that carries them out and over. Dark Time still dies, and only Annexation gets to live. But that is it. G-Game takes it home. G-Game is through to the Grand Finals, and Quantic is through to the lower bracket. And this was, again, it was a very slow building game, but I actually like seeing that oh, this sounds so wrong. That they can play patiently. Like, it's not all aggressive pushes. This was a very patient game. They were just slowly but surely starting to bleed each other. And then when Quantic pushed on one side, G-Game pushed on the other side. And in this case, I feel that Quantic did push, but G-Game had more supportive positions for each other. And that made them lose quite a bit of tanks, especially since they had been bled out bit by bit. Very great games all around. And let's see, when is the next one? So now we have 7-star at 10 past. So in half an hour, this is... They have half an hour then to get basically all the games in. Otherwise, I might need to end this stream shortly. Oh, I do hope they're fast games, honestly. At the same, you kind of always a stream, I hope not. But at the same time, I would love to stream the whole of the matchup. And yeah, I would have to end the stream at like 10 past half. So they have literally like half an hour to get all the games in, including waiting time. That would be fantastic. So let's see. I've got a bunch of replays lined up for today. And let's see. I'm going to start with a game that I've been curious about because it sounded fantastic and I love good tune work. Let's see. Double 5A tune. Can't believe Andy does not have the legendary camo because it looks so great. I love this tank, it's so pretty. Also love this tank as a whole because it's heavium and that works out really well for me. But it's just really, really pretty. And I'm actually quite glad that Jan is showing it off like this. Let's have a look. Both of them heading towards where the Mat Supremacy base would be. By the way, any aces that you share now, I will not be able to show because I'm logged in on a different Discord right now on my laptop. And I got enough replays to show for today's streams. So I'm just not going to risk it. E1 having already lost quite a bit of HP here. And they're actually really getting in each other's way. This is, I always hate being in close quarters. Oof. Good effort though. More HP loss for the E1. T-54 has been taken out. And they're actually both pushing, but on different sides, so they're not going to be pushing the same guy. Oof. So far, not the best of games for our pufferfish. But that works, I suppose. There you go, another nice pen. Nice assist damage for the FT there. Even though he's probably not too happy with it not being in pen shot. Now 5'8", it can pack a wall. Basically, you don't have that much armor, but you have a nice bit of a mobility. And you can just work very well. I really do love this tank. I need to play it more, really. E75 now moving in. And this is, I mean, the Kranwagen has lower HP, but it's always a good idea to go for the easier to shoot target. Because otherwise you're going to lose a lot of time just trying to find the right target. Their team is steadily being destroyed though, and that's never a good thing, but there goes the E75 leaving it a 3-3-3. Cheeky shot there. And there we go. So far this is like my favorite kind of tune. You're both in a different position and it works out really well together. Oof. Probably aimed a bit too high there, literally. And I seem to want to go after the Sheridan first. Nice little bounce. The joy of having a heavium. It has a bit of both. Bit of armor, bit of speed. Oof. That didn't even pen, oh my god. A little bit of assisted damage as well. That was just too impatiently shot. Plenty of HP left to lose though. EFT has been taken out. There we go. Deer Hunter has been taken out. Deer Hippopotamus not looking too healthy, but the Sheridan not pushing him. Oh, nice one. I think Andy didn't hit a shot here because Jan was actually driving into him. Nice bounce. And there you go. Tricky business though. I would not take a kill shot like this with HE because the bullet, the shell travels slower, so it's easier to miss in a lot of ways. But look at his carry, that was just lovely. Doing a, what is it, 9.5k together? Very nice. So let's see, what else have I got for you? Oh, I've been very curious about this one. I'm gonna show this one. And there's, I got like, the replays that I do have, I kind of want to show them all. I literally cannot, but still. Very curious about this one. Because I know, of course, the end result. But yeah. Always curious to see how they get there. And especially when you have a map like this, which isn't necessarily TD friendly. But then it kind of depends on how you play TD. In my case, I go frontline with the 183, so yeah. And it doesn't always work out, but more often than not, it does, because people are really scared of the 183. Again, not a supremacy game. I prefer supremacy. I literally, when I have the choice, I play only supremacy. And that has everything to do with the fact that you just... I find it easier to manipulate the battle when it's supremacy. And the times that playing smart has won me the game rather than my losing because of bases. It's, yeah, a lot more in the favor of me winning because of the bases, so yeah. Let's see. It's going quite aggressively here. Doesn't bother with that target. Oof, that's not... That's not a nice one to start with. Oh, poor guy. And that's a Skoda T50 gone. There you go. They're losing a lot of teammates very quickly though. Nice, and there you go, Vickers finishes it off. Oof, nice miss by the T30 there. Nice tracking shot. 5 versus 3. 4 versus 3. They kind of need to work together. Cheeky shot there. Skoda needs to not be in the way. Oh, sorry, that is the TVP, not Skoda. Skoda was already dead. I'm noobing. I'm sorry. I had long games just now, Fujit. Like, quite long games. There you go. Much needed kill. Takes a bit of damage in turn, but it was worth it. Technically, they... Ooh, nice. Cheeky. I like it. He just needs to get the one-shots out of the way. And then he goes back to help his teammate. I like that. He has to take that Vickers out first. Oof! That's frustrating. That Vickers cannot be allowed to come behind him. If he does, he's doomed. But now the Force is playing it very cleverly. Basically just avoiding the Vickers. Nice. 7.9k damage done. And he has to get that Vickers out of the way. Oof. 8k damage done. He's going to need that corpse and he's going to need luck. Oh my god. Was just gonna say, use heat, use heat. He gets it! Oh my god, what a game! Holy hell! Honestly. That is insane. Amazing. Really amazing game. Bloody awesome. But yeah, just commenting on the chat. Fuji's time between games is that long. He's not wrong. Oh, still like 10 minutes to go before the room invite is even up. And let's go for this one then. I actually really like the Skoda T50. It fits me. Fits my playstyle. I mean, it doesn't always work, but when it works, it works beautifully. Oh my god, though. I'm a little bit nervous for the next matchup, and that's mainly because I don't know if I will be able to stream all the games. I mean, I still need to get, like, the 5-minute delay needs to go down, and then I need to build the 5-minute delay for the next stream. That is why I need to end it at a certain time. But we'll see. I can push it to like 1:45, so then they have like 35 minutes, but we'll see. Hopefully they play aggressively and then it will all be fine. Okay, that was something said in the platoon chat, which we do not see in replays. Just pray for Russian aggressiveness with the game time next matchup, and then we'll be fine. I'll even like forego my body break. There you go, PTA getting shot here. Nice, cheeky. And another one. PTA, standard B is not a clipper. It's an auto reloader. And another one. Another one bites the dust. There we go. Then we have the E50 there. He seems to be AFK. Yeah, he is. So use the building to your advantage and get all those shots in, because that is free damage. And there we go. Even if it's an AFK, you never know when they wake up, so it's always good to get a tank out of the way. There you go. That IS-3 is going to get absolutely wrecked here. Poor guy. Oof. That was a lot of HP to lose very quickly. It is 5 versus 3, so they should technically win this. No, they're not there. They're all the way on the other side. A little bit too hasty there. Oh, there's no targets there. In this case, I'd say go for the waffle. Which is exactly what the E50 is doing. He is getting focused a lot though. He does get another shot in. And now there's only one guy left. Overall, nice cheeky game. Nice high roll. Okay, now one was just waiting to reload. He's going to kill that E75. Pretty sure. Oof. And he's got another shot. There you go. Now he's on a drum reload though. Paul, you don't have to be that careful yet. You really need to get the shot in. Oh, 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 that was really, really close. Not gonna lie. But really good game. Nice little ace, 5.6k damage, 1542 basic speed, little tiny bit of assisted damage. And let's see, in The battle started at 9:59, I believe. Yeah, 10 minutes. I will risk showing you one more replay. Because this, actually, I promised Andy I'd show this. Another 5A game. With Andy and Mike in this case. And let's see.
Let's get this show on the road.
Andy heading towards the base seaside. Mike deciding to go with. In the meantime, something is being said. Ooh, can you actually make that climb? No, you cannot. But he's not looking to, it looks like. I cannot speak Russian, so if you say anything in the chat that isn't English, I honestly have no idea what you're talking about. He's waiting for a target there. No, you do not have the gun line for that. Now you do, but you're sliding down. Base C is being capped. There you go, first shot in. Grill's over there being aggressive. That would be a very nice shot. If he gets it. And he does, with fire to boot. He's not focusing on the grill now, though. Andy is not going to live for much longer, I'm pretty sure. Nothing they can do about that. Oof, cheeky. He does take a big hit back there, though, so he has to be careful. Grill is gone. He is in a pretty nice position, but he needs a bit more support. Oof. Especially in a situation like this, I would focus more on shots that you know for sure will pen, to be honest. I know the results of this game, mind you, though. Big hit back. And this time it was about that Andy walked away from the match and his device altogether. Not sure what he was going to get again, but he was getting something. T54 not looking into letting himself get shot. Standard B has been taken out. And there goes T54, one of them at least. They're at 800 points already. Nice little bit more damage. And now there's only 2 tanks left. And another one. $5.8k damage so far. And there we go, 6.1k. Well done, Mike. Lovely. Cheeky game. This is like what I always talk about when I'm talking about using your team. In this case, he used his team not so much as cannon fodder, but he let them be the primary target. And that's just allowed him to be able to do loads more than he would have otherwise been able to do. Because there were always teammates there, and he always made sure that they were in the picture more than he, and that's brilliant gameplay. Really well done. But yeah, room invite should be up soon. And then we're gonna see if I can stream all the games today, or if I have to end early to stream EU. Fingers crossed for fast gameplay. Play aggressively, you lovely CIS people. And let's see. Not much happening right now, of course, now that we're only waiting for the room invite. But should be up soon, right? Yeah, there we go. It's always between 4.5 and 5 minutes they get the invite. And then we will see who's going to take it up against G-Game in the grand finals. Will it be 7-star or will it be Quantic? Dun 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 dun. There we go, room invites. Quantic versus 7-star. I do have to admit I have a bit of a soft spot for 7-star because I've actually met them in real life and seen them play in real life, and they're amazing. I've said this before as well, but the match of Rain versus 7-star, NA versus CIS, and you had Mo as caller for Rain, and then you had Ufpunjaz as caller for 7-star. It was bloody brilliant. Still the best games I've ever seen, because you could see them trying to figure out what the other was doing, where they were going, and what they were planning. And in the end, Ufpunjaz basically outthought Mo, and that's what eventually won them the whole Twist Cup that year. It was fantastic. I'll happily watch any of those games again, and I'll happily see games like that again. 4 minutes left to go before we go into the game. Again, it is a best of 7. The team that reaches 4 victories first is the team that is through to the grand finals to take it up against G-Game tomorrow. I will not be able to stream those games because I'm involved with the EU finals, but there will be 3 Russian streamers that will be streaming those, so should be okay. Teams are not yet there. Methody is there. Pyroblast is not there yet either, but they still have like 3.5 minutes to do so, so that's plenty of time. And we see that maybe we're going to Castilla. Castilla is my most hated tournament map, to be honest. Also because there's generally a lot of stalemate gaming here, which for the time that we have is not a good thing. You're gonna hear me panic these games, I think. Wisdom taking a Su-100Y. Pretty sure that that's not gonna fly, but okay. But 7-star is all there. He's going now for the T28 Defender, another grey TD. We see an M5 Steward. This is like the lineup of legends. Sheridan Missile arriving at the scene along with the Fury. We see a Vickers. Just a hunch. I think they're trolling a little bit. Not quite sure. Oh, but I like it. Ox is now being taken. Can we go full Ox? 7-star has almost chosen their lineups though. And there we go. Whole team is there. And now they're changing back to actual tournament tanks. It's just over 2 minutes left to go. And I'm very curious to see how this is going to go. Like I said, I'm really hoping for fast games. At the same time, I'm really hoping for epic gameplay as well. There's no satisfying me tonight, really. Because like a woman, I want everything and I want nothing. And just like nothing is right. But yeah. We see Quantic now ready in 2 Kranwagens, a Vickers, 2 IS-4s, an STB and an E5. Lovely to see the STB there. Bit of a tricky thing to take, but it can work some very wonderful positions on this map. It's just not a brawler. And on the other side we see a Vickers, an E5, a T22 medium, 2 Kranwagens, a TVP, and we have no idea what Slobina is going to take. Because it's not going to be the Sheridan Missile. Let's see, Pyroblast is here now as well. I think the missiles are mainly chosen to like not be there, as in I'm not gonna play or whatever. I'm not sure though. Because now Slobina is taking the TVP and Gentili is going to take it as well. And again, it's the autoloaders, they can work wonders But once they're out of a clip, there can be a bit of a reliability. No, unreliable? Liability. That's the word I was looking for. And there we go. 20 seconds left to go before we go into the first match of this best of 7. Team that reaches 4 victories first is the one that is going to go through to the grand finals. And for the love of everything, please let the games be quick. Because I don't want to have to end this stream and miss out on what's happening. And at the same time, I want to be able to... I need to be able to stream EU as well. So yeah, no pressure. But here we go. Is that me? I'm not sure. I know that KY is actually high in Russian. I will have to look at what was said. But if it's... would be nice. So now we have Quantic focusing on a bit of every side as is 7th star. But we have Nick Ace in the T22 heading towards base A. Not sure he's actually going to try and cap it though. Oof, Benjar is getting hit quite hard there. As is Negator. Danissimo decides not to cap there. But look at the HP that was lost on Mark. That was very, 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 very fastly lost. And we're definitely off to aggressive gameplay here. We have Benjar getting into a position to shoot Quantic Eternity there. If he pulls back just that little bit more. Nick Ace is being set upon by 3 tanks. He needs to be very careful. He's not going after Waitotu. He's going to get some help from Slobina and Gentili. Perhaps Waitotu is pulling back though. They not seem to be too aware that he's there. Dark Horse taking a hit. And that one not doing anything. The thing is, with Mark just having that little HP, it means he can't do much of anything. But at the same time, Benjar has lost quite a bit as well. And Quantic has the point advantage, has the base advantage. They're the only one to have a base. So that is a bit dangerous as well. Nick Ace has been spotted, Ishot has been spotted all the way on the other side. And now we have the TVPs moving in. Staying hidden though. Slobina has been spotted. Takes some damage there. And now he's on the drum reload. At the same time, we have Eternity being rushed by Danissimo. And we have Negabator arriving on the other side, but he is not without cover. Base C is not being taken. Ishot is driving straight on through. Nick Ace is losing a lot of HP on the other side. Quantic Eternity losing quite a bit of HP. Well, but Negabator is actually getting shot from the other side as well. Quantic Eternity is the first one out. Annexation followed, but Nick Ace follows as well. And now Wisdom is the next preferred target. And with his clip not yet empty, Slobina actually falls down. Gentili lets himself fall down. And we have the rest of 7 star pushing here. Wisdom is taken out. Mark is taken out. He was the first one I thought he would go. But he kept himself safe for quite a bit. Gentili is pushing up. Slobina is the preferred target along with Gentili. There goes Dark Horse. It started off very slow because that is what this map is for. It is the stalemate map. But now there's only 2 tanks left. Weekly is going to take out the TVP. There's no denying that. Or maybe not because he's focusing on one. And he's potentially drowning himself actually. Yeah, he is. Oh god. That's unsportsmanlike. I mean, I get it, you're not going to win, but drowning yourself, come on. That's just sad. But that means that the first game is for 7-star. No root passages yet, like before. And we're getting ready for the second game on Castilla. And we see now 7-star taking a Batchat, an E50M, an E5, 2 TVPs, another Batchat, and an AMX 50B. That's a lot of quick firepower if they all get like targets and then have to reload and all. That can be very tricky, but it can work out beautifully as well. We've seen that on the EU with Aqua, I should say. That was brilliant. Still one of the best games I've seen this season. And we have Quantic ready in 2 Kranwagens, a Vickers, 2 E5s, a T22 and an IS4. 1 minute left to go before we go into the second match. Ooh, is shot now taking a mouse, or maybe not. You don't want to lose that speed though, you want to be able to get around, and that's the tricky thing here. And he goes back to the TVP. "35 seconds left to go." Mr. says it right. I'm torn apart between EU and CIS. In a way, yes, I love watching this and I always want to see it through to the end, but EU will always have my heart. I know the players a lot better, I know the teams a lot better. And I actually really like the strategic gameplay that we have on the EU server. It's just like the time pressure right now. Oof. Here we go, countdown clock has begun. And we go into the second match of this best of 7. Hoping for quick games as before. So I can finish this and then like get ready for EU and all. Oh, time stress is like the worst. But here we go.
Let's get this show on the road.
7-star using their speed boost to get around. Aside from one Batchat, the Batchat going to the middle. The rest of 7-star all focusing on the base A side. Not necessarily going in it, but definitely going towards it. But almost all of Quantic is there. Josh getting away with that. Spawning up most of them, but getting away with it. Oh my god. Quantic losing quite a bit of HP there. Very aggressive gameplay by 7-star here. Base A being taken. And they kind of seem to be a bit at a loss at what to do here. They're losing quite a bit of HP. This forward position by Josh is just round out evil. He's going to get the shots in. And then he just has to be careful. But that means that they can't really focus on any part of the team. And he's just immediately reloading his clip, which is very, very clever. Very forwards gameplay by 7-star. Forcing Quantic to basically abandon whatever they had planned to be doing. And to have to defend themselves. Base C now being taken. And Gentili. Oh, wrong button. Not looking to. Now reloading his clip. He's safely behind some buildings. Josh and Nick Ace are still there. Danissimo is rotating around. Base C is abandoned. That could work out against them later on and in 7-star's favor. Josh for the first time taking damage, getting clipped by the Kranwagen here. And he clips him right back, but he can't really get out of there. They're now waiting for him to get out. Quantic having decided what they need to do. And he's not going to be able to make it. Josh is going to lose his life here. because he literally cannot move from where he is, and he gets taken out. Base B is taken now by 7-star. Waitotu being focused by Batchat and Negabator. But now he's empty. And that's a dangerous thing because an Ice 4 will reload a lot faster. And the rest of Quantic is arriving. Negabator bleeding HP here. Lots of lower-ish HP targets on Quantic side as well, but they don't get taken out, and that's the dangerous part here. TVP is getting shots in from above. Negabator dropping down, weakly twist, gets taken out. Wisdom not looking too healthy. Nick Ace losing quite a bit of HP. Wisdom gets taken out. Annexation not looking too healthy. We have the TVP now moving in. Mark and Nick Ace have both been taken out. Annexation is taken out. It is 5 versus... Okay, no, never mind that. Only one guy left. Dark Horse. Relatively healthy, but only one gun. And we have a TVP arriving now. He takes out his shot. Then gets shot by Slobina. And now we have the Batchat arriving. Bouncing a little bit. They're all bouncing. We don't have time for this, gentlemen. And there we go. He gets taken out. And the second game is for 7-star as well. Oh, for just don't forget she's running a delay of 5 minutes, so she's already in theory on game 3. I wish! Game 2 only just ended. Oh my god. 1.5 minutes left to go before we go into the third match of this best of 7. Time pressure is building. Quantic now already completely ready with 2 Kranwagens, a Vicus, an Ice 4 and 3 E5s. 7-star still deciding what to take. But we're going to Faust. And 7-star is taking 2 Kranwagens, an E5, 2 T22s and 2 AMX 50Bs. And let's see. I'm like, in a way, this has made the games way more exciting because of the time pressure. Which is stupid because it doesn't work like that, but it feels like that. 45 seconds left to go. And then we go into the third match of this matchup. Oh, come on, they're all ready. Just start the game. Oh my god. But we'll see how it goes. Just fingers crossed the games will be more aggressive. I mean, no, I'm saying that wrong. I want to finish this, so I want the games to be quick. At the same time, I've loved the games so far. They were smart played, and I like that. For Castilla, they were relatively full of action, and that made them more enjoyable. And here we go. Third game, best of 7. Let's see how this is going to go. Lopani, he's not drowning himself. He's just taking a nice dip and an everlasting bath. That's yeah. You suppose you could see it that way. So now Quantic is focusing on the base C side, with 1 tank going towards base A. 7-star already getting spotted, going for B instead of D. Losing some HP as they get in there. Nick Ace quite aggressively taking a position as well, losing quite a bit of HP for it. Using the speed boost to get there. Not sure what they're going for here though. Oh god, these controls and they're going after annexation. Going to try and get you a better view. 7 Star playing very aggressive here. I'm not sure it's going to work out for them. I'm really trying to get you guys the best view, but these controls are not really working with me. I'm just going to go full low mower. Weekly twist actually falling down. Dark Horse losing HP. Slobina has almost taken out. Both teams have lost the tank, but Slobina is not looking too healthy. At the same time, we've got Nagi Bader, who is still on a reload. And he is taken out. Ishot arriving, taking out Wisdom. Potentially, there you go, Quantic Eternity has been taken out. And he gets the last shot into a weekly twist. It is 4 versus 4. It can still go every which way. They're actually up there, so let's go back here to the lawnmower camera. Ishot losing more HP. Kranenwagen's almost all reloaded. And he's not going to make that unless he gets some help from Ufpenjaj, who still has plenty of HP. Slobina, Mark and Dark Horse all gone. And now there's only one guy left. He is going to take out Ishot, pretty sure of that. Especially, this is what I mean. I love Faust to play, but I hate the stream. He takes out Ishot, but it is 3 guns versus just 1 gun. And we're just gonna safely sit here and watch. And he's almost gone. And this is the aggression that I was talking about, really. And there goes my Totu. 2 things left. It was very aggressive gameplay by 7 Star. And it looked to be going every which way, to be honest. But it worked out and 7 Star has this game. Less than 3 minutes. Those are the kind of games I want to see. So now we are going into the 4th match. There's a potential match point for 7 Star here. If they win the next game, then they are through to the grand finals. And it means that I will have my potty break before I have to stream EU. So let's see what's going to happen here. Oh, the stress. Oh my god. I should not do this again, honestly. But no, this is like... I'm making a joke out of it. At the same time, in this case, Quantic was really outplayed. There have been 2 times now where they were like completely ruffled by 7 Star and what they did. And basically, I think that that's the way to beat Quantic here. Because you get them off balance straight in the beginning of the game. And they're sort of like... They don't know what to do then. And 7 Star has made full use of that. Multiple games now. And 7 Star is now ready in 1 Kranwagen, 3 E5s, 2 TVPs and an AMX 50B. And they're going up against 2 Kranwagens, 1 Vickers, 1 IS4 and 3 E5s. 40 seconds left to go before we go into the 4th match, 2nd game on Faust. And again, potential match point for 7 Star. And it's got to put the stress on Quantic as well. They've made it this far. And they've played really well in order to get here. So you kind of like, in a way, you're hoping that they're going to win some games now. That they're going to bring it back. That they're going to find their footing. But the way that 7 Star is sort of like pulling the rug right from under their feet is admirable as well. And here we go into the 4th match of this best of 7. And let's see what it brings us. I do love Faust. I just like with the free camera. It's just really annoying if you get like stuck on top of a building. You jump right on top. So I'll try to do that. But the thing is that the buttons that I need to use in order to switch to players directly give me Windows commands. So I just can't use them. And here we go. Speed boost again activated on 7 Star side. The Vickers going into base D. Base C being taken. Ooh. Yeah, base C not being taken. 7 Star again playing very aggressively. Going after that base B. Which, to be fair, is a pretty good good tactic, getting that base early. But Quantic isn't stupid. They're putting back together. The TVPs, however, are going after Weekly Twist here. And that's a lot of HP to lose very quickly. And they can clip him together. And that is the first tank out of the game already. That is brutal. Nagibator being quite aggressive as well. The rest of Quantic pulling back towards each other. Wisdom losing HP. But now Nagibator is on his crypt reload. The TVPs are arriving. Quantic Eternity is not looking too healthy. And in this case, Danissimo is actually blocking the shots. Slobina almost gone. John Teely got another shot in. Dark Horse is gone. And this might be the quickest game we've had yet. I think they may have watched my stream and listened to what I needed them to do. John Teely runs away. Danissimo going after annexation. Wisdom has been taken out. And there's only 3 tanks left now. Danissimo gets taken out. Annexation is almost gone. John Teely is not looking too healthy. Ufpencharge has plenty of HP left though. And Mark and Waitotu are the last ones left. And there's just too many guns. They don't all have the best HP left. Nick Ace is not going to make it. But now Mark is the only one left. And Ufpencharge is going after him and gets him. And it's a 4-0 for 7-star. Very aggressive gameplays these last two. After the slow build-up of the games we've seen today so far, I did not expect it, to be honest. But very well played by 7-star. The focus fire, the aggressive push, the pincer movement, everything. I think in this case it was mainly Quantic being caught off guard that cost them these games. Because that's kind of like they were too spread out in some of the games, and I think that's more like the games we saw versus G game allowed for that a little bit more, but at the same time they were still punished for doing that, not having their tanks together. And the aggressiveness of the CIS server, even when you have a slow game, they're still way more aggressive than the other servers. It can cost you the game if you don't have enough guns together to make it work together, so to speak. So yeah, 2.5 minutes, even quicker. Commiserations to Quantic, they did play very well. Massive kudos to 7-star for finding their way back up through the lower bracket. And tomorrow it will be 7-star versus G game versus in the grand finals, and that will be fantastic. However, I will not be able to stream it because I will be doing the EU finals and I will be commentating there together with Fujit. But for now, I'm going to end this stream and then I'm going to start the EU stream. And I will be commentating the EU stream tonight together with Fujit as well. So that's going to be absolutely lovely. And I hope to see you all there. Thank you all for watching. Again, massive commiserations to Quantic. You still got placed 3rd, and that's no easy feat, especially on a server like this. And massive congratulations to 7-star to finding their way back. And good luck to both G-Game and 7-star tomorrow. So for now, that's it for me. I'll be back in not long to stream the EU server. But for now, bye-bye!